What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, OTB Nation? Welcome into episode number 406 of the award-nominated, honorably mentioned, number 9 NCAA ranked, number 11 Philadelphia ranked, and of course viewable on YouTube, Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. It's KB, Deej, and Hoots, back-to-back weeks. Running a three-man game, that triangle offense up in this thing. We're going to recap everything that went down in the NLL in Week 3. I'll recap me living that sweet life and running out on the field at Xfinity Mobile Arena. And then we will also get into the Week 4 action. PLL Free Agency is well underway. A lot of crazy moves going down in the first couple of days of free agency, and then the WLL waiver period happened. We'll talk about some of the moves that went down there as well. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at OTB LaxPod across the board. We're on every social platform. Be sure to follow us. We're stupid close to 2,000 followers on Twitter, stupid close to 1,000 on Instagram. So follow us at OTB LaxPod. Follow Hoots at Hoots Sports Media. Follow DJ at SCS_next great on Twitter. Follow me at KBI ZZL311. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. Spotify, leaves a 5-star rating. You can also leave us a comment on the episode. And leave the reviews on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show continue to grow. We gained quite a number of new followers and subscribers since the Alex Simmons interview, so shout out to all the new subscribers. Appreciate you for tapping in with the show. But be sure to follow and subscribe on Apple and Spotify. And subscribe to both the Underground Sports Philadelphia and Outside the Box podcast YouTube channels. YouTube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia is where you get full video episodes of this show each and every week. Full video episodes of every show of our original 6 shows on the network. Clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. We are at 1,174 subscribers on that channel, which means we are 26 subscribers away from our year-end goal. And we're 54 subscribers away from like the massive milestone of doubling our entire subscriber count from 2024. So be sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and smash that bell icon so you know whenever new videos are live. And if you subscribe to OTB on YouTube, youtube.com/@OTB LaxPod, we get to 100 subscribers before the college lacrosse season starts. Unk and the kids gets going. Deej, Hoots, Jackie Knight, we're at 78 subscribers. 22 away. Can we get 22 more before the end of the year? That'd be swell. That way we can start game planning and actually know that the show is happening. But if we don't get there before the college season starts, we're going to have to wait until 2027, which I know none of you want to happen. So go subscribe to the OTB YouTube channel, youtube.com/@OTB LaxPod. Boys, what's poppin'? How we living?
I'm back. Mexico's great. God, the tacos. Still thinking about them. They were so good. Oh my God.
That's all you got from the trip? Just the tacos?
Nah. I rode an ATV, which was sick, for like miles and miles and miles. And then we took it down to the beach, which was sick. It was down, like, looking at the waves and stuff, and then back up through. And then we went on this suspension bridge that was, like, hanging over the canyon. So that was pretty sick. I rode a camel as well. I got out in the ocean. Like, my feet were actually in the water. I was on a boat in the ocean. These are all things I'm deathly afraid of. The ocean. So I conquered a fear, got a massage, did some partying, obviously had some adult beverages, like it was all inclusive, so I just ate an absurd amount of tacos and other food, but mostly tacos, and had a lot of drinks. Like it just mini bar in the room, just self tap, have at it, and every morning that was the first thing I did. Was wake up and have a drink. I was like, I'm getting my money's worth.
This guy's a menace.
I am getting my money's worth. But then, yeah, I came back to a shit show at work. I won't really dive into that, but yeah, work has been quite the thing this week. So yeah, I'm happy to get into a weekend of lacrosse and vibe out and enjoy. Gonna watch tons of sports this weekend. Got my Packers playing this weekend for a hopeful playoff spot. Michigan basketball back on the docket this weekend. So I'm feeling great, honestly. Christmas right around the corner. Got lucky. My sister wanted an OtterBox for Christmas. I had a gift card on Amazon. Her OtterBox.
I hope she's not listening.
Her OtterBox was less than my gift card. So, got that thing for free, y'all. So we doing our Secret Santa exchange on Christmas Eve. So I'm excited for that to get here in the mail and hand that off to her, knowing that it basically was free of charge.
Hoots, I'm glad to see you're here because you were downgraded to questionable at one point.
I was.
And miraculous healing powers that the Denver Broncos
What can I say?
have in their bodies to get you back here and fully ready to go for another week.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta believe, never a doubt. What can I say? Just 12-2. I know some teams can't relate, unfortunately. But yeah, I didn't go to Mexico. I'll say that. I had 0 tacos this weekend. But took an L, but then bounced right back with a bigger dub than I needed. So I'm not mad about it. Went to a card show, spent entirely too much time and money there, but
Directly hung up on you when I called you.
I was busy. I was shopping for things. All right, I didn't have
Tell you
time.
what happened there, Deej?
No.
So I called Hoots after the Wings game, after they won, and I was like waiting for Christian to meet me because he had movie posters for me to drop off, and I just let me call Hoots, and he goes, I'm at a car show. I don't have time for at a card show. I don't have time for this. And I was like, I'm in your walls, and he was like, goodbye.
That's funny.
Oh,
And
look,
First off, I'm sorry that I wasn't available for him to call me after the game because I'm the one that normally gets that call.
bro. I was down. I just needed to win one of the 2 games this weekend, so I needed to wait till Sunday. And he decides to call me right after. I was like, I don't got time to talking about this right now. I was like, it is what it is.
Don't worry, I took the sacrifice of being in Mexico for 2 L's in my favorite teams this weekend. So
If you're gonna take some L's,
do it in Mexico, eating tacos.
You might as yeah.
Right?
Yep.
In a pool. Right?
Yep.
Come on. I don't see where I went wrong there.
That's fair.
We got a lot to dive into. We'll recap. We'll start with our recap of the week that was in the National Lacrosse League. Our NLL wrap-up brought to you by our friends over at Buff. Guys, it's cold as hell outside, okay? No matter where you are, unless you're in some tropical island right now, it's cold as a motherfucker right now. And Buff is going to help you. They're going to help protect your face from the wind, from the snow. Just genuinely one of the best companies out there. They're the official, an official partner of Survivor. They've got the Survivor limited edition collection box available for this holiday season. Shop all that. Get geared up for this terrible cold weather. But guys, don't worry. That when that winter solstice hits, we're just counting down the days to more sunshine, more rainbows, and as Deej says, more vibes and smiles. But use our link in the description to shop with Buff. Check out all the Survivor buffs that are available as well, and just gear up for this cold weather. We're fighting it all together. Don't you worry. But once it's over, you get your Buff headwear and neckwear for your hikes, your walks, your runs during the spring and summer months. They've got you covered all year round. So use that link in the description to shop with Buff. And we thank Buff for being a proud partner of the pod. Crazy week in the NLL. At one point, I thought we were all just going to go over, except for me, smartly picking the Philadelphia Wings to win. But Hoots, we got lucky with some of our picks that bounced our way. But a lot of one-goal games, a couple of belt-to-ass games later on in the slate. But the week, the winners of the week, Ottawa wins 11-8 over Saskatchewan. Philadelphia beats Colorado 8-7. Toronto survives Calgary 11-10. Halifax in overtime goes into Banditland and wins 9-8. Georgia beats Oshawa 9-5. Vancouver absolutely decimated Las Vegas 15-9, and Rochester belt to ass over San Diego 15-7. I mean, we'll start with Friday night, Saskatchewan and Ottawa. I mean, I didn't see this coming. Good for Ottawa to get a win of this caliber at home in front of their fans. We talked about it last week. We were like, they need to figure some things out there, and they did it by only winning 6 faceoffs. They outshot Saskatchewan, though, 65-46. They thrived by forcing Saskatchewan to play sloppy ball. Saskatchewan had 44 penalty minutes in this game. And Jeff Teat was Jeff Teat. 9 points in this one, 4 goals. He was unbelievable. I mean, the goaltending was great in this game, but it's tough to win a game when you have 44 penalty minutes. You got Mike Messenger with a 10-minute misconduct, Boudreau with a 10-minute misconduct in the fourth quarter, Holden Garland with a 10-minute misconduct. It's tough to win games that way, especially down the stretch when, you're trying to stay alive in a game, and Saskatchewan only scored in the middle quarters. They scored 3 in the second, 5 in the third, and didn't score in the first or the fourth. And Deej, what did you so eloquently say last week? You can't win in the National Lacrosse League if you get blanked for 15 minutes. Yep. And that's exactly what happened. And, I mean, on top of that, Ottawa scored 6 goals in the fourth to really, bury this one. Great win for the Ottawa Black Bears.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they stepped up to the plate, and they really settled down, especially in that second half. They really started to make a surge on the offensive end and really put it together and start to see the floor, the teammates, and then the back of the net. It really shows kind of how powerful they can be when they play their style of lacrosse. But in that same token, it did take them a little while to get there. And in every game that they've played so far this year, they've been a slow-starting team. If they want to continue to have success this year, they're going to have to get out of that slow start. They're going to have to start earlier and be able to get the offensive ball rolling a little bit quicker. But that fourth quarter surge they had is the kind of play you need to win games in the NLL. If you're going to win one-goal games, tough games down the stretch, games on the road, playoff games, you got to be able to play fourth quarters like they did, which was a dominant fourth quarter. They were able to turn Saskatchewan over a few times. They were able to force them into bad shots, and then they were able to take advantage in transition and in the settled offense. That is how you take over a game after you've settled in and had a slow start, and then go out and prove that you're a better team. I thought that they really kind of stunned Saskatchewan and made them kind of look in their face this week as they, prepare to move on in the season and be like, all right, what do we need to be fixing after, we gave up 6 in a row in the fourth and lost a game that honestly we probably should have won.
You had a 3-goal lead going into the fourth, too. It was 8-5 at the end of the third.
Yep.
I mean, this was a Jeff Teat game that we wanted to see as well. 9 points. Hellier had 5 assists. Teat had 17 shots on goal. That's what you want to see from an all-world caliber player, from a perennial MVP candidate. And we know Jeff can be passive in a sense where he wants to get everyone involved. But on a team like this, he needs to be the focal point. He needs to be the one taking the shots. And that coaching staff needs to tell him, hey, you got to be the ones ripping the shots in this game for us. Rob Hellier's here now. He's going to get his. But, Teat's got to recognize, it's a lot different than the roster that the New York Atlas have. Like, Shelley's not out on that floor with him. Xander Dixon's not out on that floor with him. They don't have this, all-star roster in terms of offense in Ottawa like he does in the field game. So Jeff's just got to be more aggressive and be willing to take those shots, and he did that in this game. 9 points, hell of a game from Jeff Teat. And I think this is an early season momentum boost for Ottawa, even though it's 3 weeks in and they lost that first game. But this is a game you can build upon, especially beating a team that was the runner-up in the NLL finals just a year ago.
I think the only thing that kind of my bad.
You're good.
That makes him feel, or that kind of combats that aggressiveness for him is his style of play. He's a let the game come to me guy, not really I'm going to attack the game and do this, do that kind of guy. So I feel that's why he, especially in the NLL, I feel he's a little bit more of that, because in field you kind of have more space to work with to then create and take over a game, whereas in box you're a little more constrained, and a lot of it is you really get creative based off of the movement, the pick setting, and the ball movement, body movement. That's how you really get open and create opportunities inside. So he's a little more cautious about when he takes those opportunities in the box game, and I totally understand it because of his style of play. But I think he did a great job of seeing early on in this game that this was a game where he was going to have solo opportunities and then taking advantage of that.
And realistically speaking, we've all acknowledged, he's going to have big games along with Rob Hellier for them to win. And they're going to have to put up 8 or 9 points, either a piece or, together, whatever. And both of them had at least 8 in this game. And you still had Riley O'Connor with more of a quiet game with 5 assists. As long as those two are producing, I feel pretty confident in this team. But for Saskatchewan to have kind of 2 what I would consider bad games to start the year, that's I'm not pressing the alarm by any means yet, but it's something to monitor, because I forget how many they gave up week 1, but you do that and now you blow a 3-goal lead and give up 6 straight to lose this game. It's kind of a problem.
Yeah, let me see what Saskatchewan did week 1. So they gave up 13 in the game against Calgary, but they won 16-13.
Yeah.
So, they've given up, 24 goals in 2, so they're averaging giving up 12 a game, which, in a season-long perspective, that's not terrible, especially with a goalie like Frank Giuliano, but definitely have some cleaning up to do on the defense, which I think we recognize when you trade Triolo and you have a rookie in Levi Virch coming in. We're very high on Levi Virch, obviously, but it's his first season in the NLL, so it's going to be a little bit of growing pains there. And it's an overall, outside of 4 or 5 guys, the rest of the roster is very, very young. So, there's going to be those growing pains, and it's going to come, in bunches here and there. But I don't think, like you said at Hoots, it's not something that you smash the panic button for. And I think they'll be able to bounce back with their next game. I think they're going to play well this weekend at home against Georgia. It's just a matter of not letting a game like this linger. You got to be able to throw this one away and learn from some of the mistakes, but definitely have to play better defensively, and especially down the stretch. You can't get blanked in the fourth quarter when you have NLL title aspirations. It just can't happen. But hell of a win for Ottawa. Philadelphia, baby. You're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Quote, Adam Sandler. Philly 8, Colorado 7. Hell of a game. No matter way you dice it, is low scoring, but tons of juice the entire game. I was obviously there. I got to run out of the tunnel pregame, which was the craziest experience ever. Got my name announced and the pod announced in front of the entire arena, which was just ridiculous. And when I have fans and listeners of the show tweeting at me saying it was cool seeing you run out of the tunnel, I'm like, this is the craziest life that we live. got to be in the suite too. This was like my first Wings game as a fan, pretty much. I've always been, I had my credential and everything, got to go to the press conference after, but like watching the game, I wasn't up in the press box. I was in a suite with, a bunch of our creators here at Underground, CFO Margie, the OG, taking in the game, and like it was sick to be able to kind of like sit back and like full-blown like root for the team as a fan for the first time, and be able to experience the game the way that we did. Hell of a game defensively from both teams. Dylan Ward was standing on his head. Damud was standing on his head and then some. Both defenses played extremely well. And, I mean, the most unlikely of heroes, like Landon Sinfield, a rookie player for the Wings, comes in, scores in this game in his first ever time in Philadelphia at that. He told us that in the post-game press conference. He had never been to Philadelphia before the game. He scores in this one. Our guy Dalton Young, 4 assists in this game. Joe Resiteritz, 2 and 1. Sam LeClaire, 5 assists. Eric Fennell, 2 goals in his Wings debut. Brennan O'Neill, 1 goal, 2 assists. And the story of this game was the defense. And I said it coming into the year. I said it last week. I said it in our preview episode, Deej. This collectively has a chance to be the best group defensively for the Philadelphia Wings since they've come back. And the defense was incredible all game long. Nick Rowlett, the rumors were true. He looks healthy. He looked great at the stripe. Was battling for faceoffs in a way that I don't think I've seen Nick Rowlett play indoor or outdoor in his professional career. And overall, just a really, really good game. And I know, like, Colorado, like, you want to build off, the win and everything, but you were also without Andrew Q, who was kind of the catalyst for the offense going in that first game against Vancouver. When he gets back, this offense is still going to be fine. I just think it was a product of the Wings defense, like, really honing in on a majority of the healthy offensive weapons that the Mammoth have, and they did a great job containing pretty much everyone. Obviously Will Malcolm got his, 5 points, but outside of that, like, they limited the damage really well and were able to survive what the Mammoth did in the second half. And, I think a win like this for the Wings, too, like, it's a quality win, but there's also so much room for growth that Wings fans should be excited about this season. And I tried to tell everyone that, and I think this is in a weird way, you don't ever want to lose, but like I thought the Mammoth played relatively well in a lot of aspects.
Couldn't disagree with you more on that last statement, but as far as
you
I mean,
came belt to ass. Like the second half was a completely different game for the Mammoth than it was in the first half.
Sure, but I mean I'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna prop up some dudes first. Both goalies I thought were outstanding. I know a lot of people like high scoring games. I actually kind of prefer it to be more low scoring. I don't love it when it's my team, but like these types of games are fun for me because I like watching goalies play well. So that was the first thing. Yeah, like it's like every possession means something. Like some of these games when it's like 16-13, you just feel like every possession's a goal. Mm-hmm. But like you were saying about Nick Rowlett, I know the numbers don't necessarily show it, but I really feel like he dominated more than just 11 for 19. Mm-hmm. And again, he's going up against, a rookie faceoff guy, like whatever, but like I was pretty impressed. Even the ones that he quote-unquote lost, I felt like he actually kind of won and kind of got it to a place where, like, the Mammoth couldn't really do anything with the ball. And to their credit on defense as well, like, I didn't think about this till just now, but so much of the – like, there was a point in the game, I think in, like, the third quarter, where I felt like we were just kind of taking shots from the outside, like, just to do it. And I think part of that was, like, the first half, they were so aggressive, like, not like contained aggression to where they were blocking shots when we shot it. There was one quarter, I think it was the second quarter, it felt like no shot even got to Nick in goal. Like it was just like every ball was just ending up in the middle of the floor somehow. And I think by the time they got to the second half, even though, they put up 4 goals, like it was like, oh, we're just going to take these shots because that's what they're quote unquote giving us. And it was like, you're not going to win games that way. And I mean, missing Andrew Hughes sucks. Chaster's goal getting called back, who knows what happens with that if that's actually challenged. I'm not sure why Pat Coyle didn't challenge that, but whatever. I'm still more concerned with the fact that, like, they put up 10 against CDB, who I think we kind of unanimously say he's the top 2 goalie in the league. And no disrespect to Damoud, but you put up 7, you outshoot them by 17, and 1 for 6 on the power play again. Yeah, and this is just becoming a thing. Like, last year I remember Pat Coyle, I mentioned this on the run out too, but Pat Coyle told us, like, we're not going to be a team that scores 18 a game. And, like, I'm down with that. Like, that's fine. I'm just kind of getting to the point where it's like, why can't we put up 11 or 12 a game? Why is it always 10 or less? Yeah. So, and again, I recognize there's a lot of young guys on that offense, especially with Andrew Q out. But to me, like, I'm not going to give us, like, excuses as to, like, why this happens, because it's kind of mammoth coded to be a great team and lose to a team people expect to be bad. So, regardless, as a Lacrosse fan, I like this game. It was fun to watch, but did not enjoy the call that I got after that game.
Which I loved. I loved what Eric Fennell told us in the post-game presser, too. He said, we're not just this pushover team that everyone is labeling us. Like, and I love that attitude, especially from a new guy on the team who, like, this is his first year in Philly, signed in free agency, and, like, he kind of knows, like, he's paying attention to what people are saying, and they're not allowing that to dictate, like, what their path is going to be this year. We talked about it last week. Like, there's still a shit ton of talent on this Wings offense, and if the defense is going to play like they did on Saturday, and Damude's going to be able to, Damude's not going to have 53 saves every week. Like, don't get it twisted there. But, like,
the way these goalies are playing, he might.
If Nick's going to play even 80% of that every week, like, that's just already a boost and an improvement from what he was last year. And I think it's pretty impressive that he was able to go blow for blow with Dylan Ward the way that he was, because Dylan Ward was standing on his head too the entire game. And early on, especially in that second quarter when the Wings had that 4-goal run, I was like, holy shit, like, we're really getting at Dylan Ward. And then halftime happened. The Mammoth made big-time adjustments, and that's when things, like, really started to go where it did feel like you said, it was like you guys were just taking shots for the sake of, like, just trying to see if anything would go. And then that's when, like, your momentum got going in terms of, like, possession, because you were getting those rebounds. You were able to go and get the loose balls that were just, like, getting away, and you got a lot of second chance opportunities that, sure, they didn't fall all the time, but it was preventing the Wings from having those possessions and running down the floor. And I think one thing that stood out to me this year too, and Deej, we talked about this a ton last year when we talked about the Wings, their transition game was putrid last year. And it all stemmed from when Scott Dominy got injured. And we said time and time again, your transition game should not go into the shitter because one player got hurt. And when you have Nick Rowlett winning faceoffs the way that he did, when you have guys just beaming down the floor and scoring like Landon Sinfield did, like Evan Messenger did in transition, the way Phil Caputo scored the inevitable kind of like icing on the cake goal in that fourth quarter, that is such a game changer to what this Wings offense is. And it just felt like, compared to years past where it almost felt like we were forcing the ball to certain guys, this game, even though it was low scoring, the ball movement was there, and we were able to kind of just like allow everyone to get a piece of the puzzle in this one. And I just love the way that they played. They played loose. The crowd was behind them, and this was a quality win for the Philadelphia Wings.
Yeah, it's a great start to the year for the Wings. You always want to start the year on a win. They were able to do that at home. The energy is high. And it really, I think, settles them in for the year. Not just because they won, but it kind of reminds them and solidifies that idea for them that they are who they think they are, and that they're not what everybody is saying that they are, and that they can compete, and that they can go out and win games, that they can push for a playoff spot. Everything that they want and all the goals that they have set for themselves as a team are attainable. They just have to go out and continue to win games. So it's a good foundation and base for them to start and kind of boost off from for the rest of the year if they want to continue to have success. And to me, it was just a minor setback for Colorado, and I don't even know if I want to call it a setback. They played a decent game. They just couldn't finish enough to come out on top. You know, you hit a couple pipes, you have a couple turnovers, you commit a couple penalties, those kind of things. You look back, you're like, okay, a couple centimeters here, a couple inches there. This game's completely different. We leave with a win. So I think Colorado should be fine, and they are in a position to where this win doesn't hurt them too much, as long as they don't go out and put up 3 or 4 more games only scoring 7 goals.
And I'll say this: the Wings were never running. They were never losing the game where KB ran out of the tunnel.
How could they?
They could never.
How could they?
We joked in the press conference. I was like, "Yo," I was telling the Philly captain, if you're a Wings fan, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I was like, "Yo, they're 1-0 with us running out of the tunnel," and the Wings PR girl, Haley, she's the best. She was like, "Yeah, we might have to have you guys do that a couple more times this year." I was like, "I'm down," and I did commit to the Philly captain. He said that if the Wings win the championship this year, we're getting Wingston tattoos. So, Wingston tattoo is on the table, which would be hysterical.
I don't even have a tattoo.
I know, but hey, do you know how funny that would be for my first tattoo?
I'm so hurt. Who is this random dude?
The Philly captain? He's not random.
You gonna get a master tattoo with this dude before me? This is
What you want to get? You want to get an orange tree tattoo together?
Don't fucking play with me.
we get the Tropicana Bowl logo.
Nah, let's just get a tow truck.
This is a stick figure.
Outside of the tow truck.
Bitch, we in the tow truck. What you mean?
That was so fucking wild.
Right outside the tattoo, it says, "You must be this tall to ride this ride."
Nah, bro, it's got to put us inside of the car that's on the back of the tow truck.
Yes. Like this.
That was such a wild experience.
So ridiculous. And the craziest part was that was not the first time that happened to me.
Oh
So
my
ridiculous.
But nah,
I was pissed.
I'm here for the Wingston tattoo.
That'd be hysterical. I don't even know where I'd get it.
Forearm.
Which would then have to evolve into me just getting a whole Philly mascot sleeve.
Fuck it. YOLO.
Or half sleeve.
Half sleeve.
But yeah, Wingston tattoo on the table. 1-0. I was pissed about the outcome of the next game. Deej, I know you were too. Hoots, I know you were because of picks. Because we were right there. We had it. I don't know how the fucking Toronto voodoo magic kicked in.
I blame y'all.
Whoa.
I said this at the end of the episode when we got done with picks last week.
Relax.
I said, y'all knew I was finna pick Calgary, and y'all still went right behind me and picked Calgary. And look at us.
That's a you problem. That's you convinced me to change my pick.
I didn't convince you to change your pick.
You did. You said way too many good points during the episode that I was like, hey, that's a good pick.
Go get your goalie. 5 goals in the fourth.
Hey. I said before the season started that between the pipes was going to be a real issue for us. And have I lied one bit? No.
Because you look at the box score in this game. If you box score watch, which we know a lot of people who are NLL fans do, Calgary won this game on paper. You remove the scores and everything. Calgary won this game on paper. Like, shots on goal, the discrepancy is not that large. 53-48, Toronto outshot you. J.I. went fucking off. 20 of 25 at the stripe. Calgary 2 of 3 on the power play. Toronto 0 for 4. J.I. had 16 loose balls in this game. Aiden Walsh still had 42 saves in this game. Braden Maia popped off with 6 assists. And it was just that fourth quarter. Everything was coming up Calgary. It was 3-1 at the end of the first. You went 3 goals each in the second. So that's what, 6-4. And then it's 8-6. And then Toronto just goes on a run in the fourth quarter. Mark Matthews, Bushi, Owen Hiltz, Dowick, 4 in a row. Riley Lowen stops the bleeding twice, and then Bushi hits the game winner with 2:06 to go.
And as you can imagine, I was losing my shit just getting tweet notice. I had Wi-Fi on the resort, and all I'm getting is tweet notice. I can't watch the game. And I'm seeing, oh, we scored. Oh, we scored. Oh, we scored. We're winning? They scored. They scored. They scored again. And I was like, oh, my fucking God. Is this really happening right now? And then, boom, they scored again. And I was like, oh, they just beat us.
I mean, you had two guys with 6 assists in this game for Calgary. Tyler Pace and Maia both had 6 assists.
Hey. Before we get too far. If Pacer's not in any type of conversations for any type of awards at the end of the year, I'm going to fucking riot. My man has played his ass off to start the year. Pacer literally looks fantastic. Is there an MIP award?
I don't think so.
Put it in the boxes.
It's dumb.
Put it in the boxes.
It's just crazy. You look at everything that Calgary did in this game. You look at it and remove the score. You would say Calgary won this game.
Yep.
CJ Kurse played extremely well. 1 goal, 3 assists. Josh Dowick 3 and 3. Bushi had a hat trick. Mark Matthews 1 and 3. Owen Hiltz 2 and 4. And I mean, it's that Toronto voodoo magic.
Hate it. 0-2 to start the year is not great for us.
And I think this is an improvement, though, for Calgary. Like, obviously you want to win, but, like, from Game 1 to Game 2, I thought they improved in so many aspects. Playing against 2 high-quality offenses. It's a stepping stone, and it's right there for them, and they're going to break through sooner than you think.
When they do, it's going to be scary.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Dude, Maia is a fucking demon.
If you ask me, the offense is there. They put up 13 and 11.
Yep.
Or
I think the
13 and 10
defense is
there. In 2 games. To me, the transition is still a little lackluster, and then obviously
outside of JI.
Right, and like I mentioned, between the pipes is still an issue. They still are pulling goalies and trying to figure out who they want to roll with and who gives them the best opportunity to win. But once that gets solidified and they have a guy playing between the pipes that's confident and is making good saves and giving them a chance to win these games like they had this weekend, this team's going to be great.
And I don't think Aiden played all that bad.
No, like I mentioned, he gave him a chance to win this game this weekend. Probably wants a couple saves or a couple goals back, but at the same time,
when you hold that Toronto Rock offense,
they were winning this game in the fourth quarter. You end up losing by 1. That means you had all the opportunities to win this game, and he made 42 saves. He played a good game. We just have to be able to get that on a consistent basis, and then this team can put it all together.
Yeah, I liked what I saw from Calgary in this game. And, Toronto played well, good for them. I like seeing the young guys play well, obviously, with CJ, Owen, and Sam. Mark Matthews keeps doing Mark Matthews things, and Nick Rose was great in this game. But overall, I love what I saw from Calgary improvement-wise, game to game, and I think Toronto game to game really improved, and their transition game looked a lot cleaner, even without TD still, obviously. But overall, quality win for Toronto to kind of bounce back and get in the win column for the first time. Next game, overtime, Halifax 9, Buffalo 8. Maybe the Buffalo Bandits aren't as invincible as we thought they were.
Or maybe Halifax is just actually that good this year.
And I mean, Halifax came back in this one after trailing 5-2 after the first quarter. They put up a 3 spot in the fourth quarter to send it to overtime. This game, I mean, Josh Burns scored the goal to send it to overtime, but Clark Peterson is that dude. We've said it for a long time. He's that dude. 3 goals in this one. The game winner, Dawson Theed, 5 points. Jason Knox, 2-0.
And he's gone. He's back.
Am I back?
Yeah.
I have
Back.
no idea what just happened. I saw a thing that said unstable connection. I blame Neil. What was the last thing you guys heard me say?
Dawson Theed.
Dawson Theed had 5 points in this game. And I mean, hell of a win to go into Buffalo in overtime, no less, and win this game. And I mean, Jake Withers did his thing at the strike to make it possible. And this is a game Buffalo should have won.
I mean, they should probably always win games, to be fair. But Halifax's defense was just like, after that first quarter, they were just different. I mean, holding them to 1 goal a quarter, it's wild. And I know a lot of people were questioning if the new rule implementation of not being able to stand in the crease was going to hurt Buffalo. I'm not saying it is. I'm also not saying it's not, because they've looked pretty beatable the last couple games. And I'll give credit to Halifax too. Like I said, they had to do it again. They did it again. I don't know what happened to Warren Hill, but this is a different version of him that I think we haven't ever seen before.
This is like 3 years ago, Warren Hill.
Yeah, it's like peak. Like if he can just, like you said about the Philly game, like if he can just be a portion of this moving forward. Like if they're beating Buffalo, like I want to see when they play Vancouver and Rochester. Like if he's doing that to Buffalo, it's going to be tough for the rest of the league.
I think the coolest thing about this whole thing with Halifax right now is it genuinely feels like the offense is giving the defense a magic number. Hey, go out and hold them to this, and I promise we'll score at least this. If you can limit them to this many goals, you limit them to 8, we'll score 9. You limit them to 11, I promise we'll get at least 12. And like the defense is just like, all right, yeah, we can do that, and then the offense figures out a way to score just enough goals. Like, and you know what? I don't care. One, that is exciting as lacrosse. That's exciting any kind of sport. Any sport where it takes score and you take it to the brink like that. I'm down to watch any game that is going to go down like that. And two, it's gritty. That means this team can go out and play anybody and figure out a way to win. That's how you win a championship in any sport. You got to be able to win the tough, nasty, 1-goal games, overtime games. So far, Halifax is proving that. And also, it makes it very easy for both sides because they know exactly what they have to do. Okay, we got to go out. We got to limit this guy. We got to make sure they don't score this many goals. Offense, all right, we got to go out. We got to pick our spots. We got to find our shots, and we got to bury them because we got to put up this many. Everybody plays their role, does it right, boom. They're celebrating before they know it.
Yeah, I like what I saw from Halifax there, and I mean, I think it just shows you that Buffalo is mortal to a degree, and like you can go to Buffalo and win a game. So hell of a win there for Halifax. The next game, Georgia 9, Oshawa 5. Alex Simmons, you couldn't have scored a goal last week to keep the OTB podcast science going. Nah, shout out to the boy. 3 goals in this one, led Oshawa in scoring. Here's the issue with Oshawa. Alex Simmons had 4 points, 3 goals and an assist. He was tied for the team lead with Doug Jamieson in assists. Yeah,
That's
your
the issue
goalie
with Oshawa?
When your goalie is leading your team in assists or tied in a lead for assists, you got a problem in this instance because that's not good. And Oshawa's offense looks broken, and it didn't get any simpler this week. Kyle Jackson got released. I mean, Deej, we talked about it when KJ signed with the then Albany Firewolves last year and what happened. Like, that first game against the Wings, Albany's season got a bump, and they turned it completely around. They look like a different team. Here's my thing. You release Kyle Jackson and everything, which we hope KJ lands on his feet, signs with the team because he's too good of a player to not be playing.
Colorado.
Anywhere. I mean, I just want to see KJ playing because that dude's a dog and he will help a team like succeed. Here's my thing: what the fuck are Dyson Williams and Ethan Walker doing? Like, to start this season, both of them have been bad, and they're supposed to be integral parts of this offense, along with Simmons, along with Ty Kurtz. Those two they went 0 for in this game. Dyson went 0 for 10 shooting. Ethan Walker went 0 for 6 shooting, coupled with the poor performance they had against Halifax, coupled with the, 1 or 2 goal win against Toronto to start the year, but they haven't really done much in this early go. And I mean, like Simmer told us, Deej, like, they're young on offense. They're all kind of figuring this out together, but you release your one veteran on the offense who kind of felt like he was like the glue that held you together last year. I don't understand the thinking there. I don't understand what's going on with Ewok and Dyson right now because they both just look lost. And when you only have 2 guys contributing in terms of like goal scoring, I know Kashok scored in this game, but like Simmer led the team with 3 goals. Ty Kurtz had 2 points. This offense looks wildly broken, and I don't know how you fix it. At right now, it just feels like they're like pulling panic levers to try to get anything going, and it does not get easier for you because you have Friday night lacrosse at home against Vancouver.
I can give a little bit of leeway to Dyson because he did have a pretty solid game 1 against Toronto. I think he had like 3-2 or 3-1, something like that. He did pretty solid in that first game, but other than that, he has been a little bit on the downfall. Maybe it's just a little bit of a slump, and he's got to catch back up to it. But Ethan Walker has been non-existent, and that goes back to PLL. He didn't have a good PLL season either, so he really hasn't been himself in almost a year. The tail end of last year, he didn't play as well as some would like. So when is Ethan Walker going to return? I don't know. Maybe never. That is a serious question to ask because he hasn't shown up really yet this year. But if you're Oshawa, you're really hoping that these guys are able to get out of this slump and help these guys out because their offensive end has a solid squad, but you need 4, 5, 6 guys to contribute in the NLL to be good. Take this back to the early 2000s. Yeah, you can get away with 2 guys being good and finding your way to a solid season. In 2025, 2026, 27, you need 5, 6, 7, 8 guys that are going to be able to go for you and be a solid threat if you want to have success.
Dyson Williams, first game of the season, 1 goal, 1 assist. He had 2 assists against Halifax. So he is 4 points in 3 games. Ethan Walker in the first game against Toronto, 2 goals and an assist, and 1 assist against Halifax. So combined in 3 games, those guys have 8 points. That's not going to get it done in the early go. Like, obviously, we expect them to turn it around, but, like, they need those guys contributing along with Ty Kurtz, along with Alex Simmons for this offense to look like it did in 2023 when they went to the NLL finals and they were, it looked like this new age offense for that franchise, whatever iteration you want to consider them, but those 2 in particular need to figure it out. Like, they are too talented to not be going right now, and I just don't know if it's scheme. I don't know if it's like just a communication thing. And again, it's still early in the season, but like Dyson Williams, number 1 pick in the draft. Ethan Walker has been a talented player, but like you said, Deej, and we've talked about it a ton with him ever since that one press conference at the end of the 2024 PLL season where like something just fell off, and like we hope Ethan's like good, but I don't know. Like, this offense just feels like they're in a weird state here in the early go, and like I said, it doesn't get easier because you got to play Vancouver on Friday night lacrosse for the entire league to watch.
Yeah, I'm not stressing too much about those guys for the moment. I think it's still just too early in the season to really say anything. With how many games you play in the NLL season, game about 7 or 8 is when I really start to worry about guys and teams and things of that nature. The first 6, really kind of just a feel-out measure. You're really settling in. Everybody is, getting away with some wins, maybe dropping a few games they shouldn't, and then by games 7 and 8, teams have figured out who they are, they're rolling, and the records really start to pan out, and the picture starts to paint itself a little more clear. So I give a lot of leeway through the first about third of the season, but then after that, if you suck, you suck. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about it.
And I mean, for Oshawa, they're 1/6 already because they played 3 games.
Yep.
So, it's starting to get to that benchmark sooner than you think. But also, kudos to Brett Dobson. That motherfucker stood on his head the whole game. 50 saves, only allowed 5 goals, and that's why he's one of the best in the world. Shane Jackson, hat trick in this game. Lyle Thompson with the new haircut. 1 goal, 3 assists. Still looks like Lyle Thompson. Doesn't matter. He'll still do it to you. Our guy, Deej Keen Moon, had an assist in this game. Michael Grace continues to look like an absolute superstar. And great win for Georgia. They needed this one, and they absolutely got it in front of their home fans. So kudos to those boys down in Georgia. Kudos to Brett Dobson. And we'll see what happens with Oshawa. But I'm not feeling too hot through 3 games about their offensive perspective right now, and I think something's got to be changed. And I don't know if cutting KJ was the answer, but KJ's going to land on his feet, and some team's going to get better by signing him. Speaking of Vancouver, belt to ass, 15-9 over Las Vegas, and they lost the face-off battle by a whole hell of a lot. And what did we say, Deej? What did we say about this Vegas team? It's going to look a whole hell of a lot like them early Miami Heat days with that offense, trying to figure some things out, trying to get guys in the right spots. And that's exactly what it looked like. They looked like a team that had not played a game together in an actual NLL setting. Preseason is preseason. Practice is practice. They looked like a team that had not played together. And at the end of the day, what did we also say about this team? Hoots, what have you said about this team when we've talked, in the group chat? Them motherfuckers cannot play defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably too early to say I told you so. But when your goal is giving up when your goal is giving up 10 goals and only making 15 saves on the other side, I mean CDB, for contrast, 9 goals allowed, 44 saves. Granted, he's best in the world, but this has been a consistent problem with this team for several years now. We've said a bunch of times, I don't care how many goals you put up. Even when they add Chase Frazier back in this lineup, even if they scored 12 goals, are they going to give up 15 a game? Is this who they are? Or is this we played Vancouver, so it's 15? So I need to see them in another setting, but to only have 2 goals in the first half, you wait till the second half to put up 7. By that point, it was done and over with. And especially when I don't understand when teams win the faceoff battle this big and still struggle on offense. 1 for 5 on the power play is awful. You outshoot them by 9 shots. They just have so many questions. Yeah, there's no excuse at that point. You should be putting up tons of shots and getting 10, 11, 12 plus.
And granted, Staff didn't play in this game for Vancouver, so that's also discrepancy there. But also, did Chase get injured in this game? I didn't get to catch this game.
Apparently, he got injured in warm-ups.
Okay, because I was he's active on the stat sheet, but zeros. That's not great, especially on his bobblehead night.
Right.
But the offense for Las Vegas was pedestrian, even with all these. Kluch had 1 and 2, Mitch Jones 1 and 2, Jonathan Donville led the team in scoring 1 and 4. But, like, when you only have guys scoring 1 or 2 goals here and there with this offense, like, you're not getting everybody involved. Like, especially with the way, like, that things were distributed. Like, sure, you had guys scoring, but, like, when it's just, like, 1 goal here, 1 goal there, and then Vancouver's just, like, raking you, especially in that third quarter, 7 goals. You know, Charlene Beatty scores, Garrison scores, Simpson scores, Keegan Ball scores, Sheridan scores, and then you stop the bleeding. But then Charlene Beatty and Curtis Dixon go and add 2 more on. Like, I mean, this was what we talked about with these 2 teams in particular, where Vancouver was going to be a different instance in terms of bringing in so many faces in free agency because these guys have played together before. They played together. They won a championship together. Vegas, this is like just assembling a super team, and you're seeing the results of that. And I just think Molosky outcoached Williams in this game too, like very evidently in a lot of ways. And I don't know. I mean, like, I think Vegas is still going to be able to score, but again, like you said, Hoots, like if you can't stop the other team from scoring, your offense is only going to be able to do so much. And it's the polar opposite of Halifax. Like, the offense is going to be like, yo, we're going to be able to give you this defense. Can you stop this? And they'll be like, no, we can't. Because there's too many high-powered offenses in this league. And no offense to Landon Kells, he has just not proven that he has been able to consistently be a guy you can rely on in goal in the National Lacrosse League so far in his career.
I mean, I think the offense has the ability to do what they need to do in order to help this team be successful, and that's simply just outscore. Like, perfect example, like we were talking about earlier, the Cowboys. Their defense is atrocious, but they win games. Like, the games they win is because their offense just goes out and outscores the other team. They don't bank on the defense making a single stop for them ever. They just go, okay, we'll just score more points than they do. Oh, okay, guys. They scored again. Let's put our helmets back on and go score. That's what Vegas is going to have to do if they want to win a lot of games this year. They're going to have to go, well, they poured another one in. Hey, let's go out the door and do it again. It's the only way we're going to win. Because as of right now, that's the only way they're going to win. Until they can figure out their backside and get a defense to actually contribute and make stops and then push in transition and give them opportunities, they're going to have to score pretty much every time they have the ball. That's really the only formula for it.
Yeah, and I mean, good bounce back for Vancouver to kind of showcase, like, they are the built-in chemistry team that we thought they were. And we'll see what they do against Oshawa to build upon this on Friday Night Lacrosse. Final game of the weekend. Shout out to the boy Zach, our photographer out in San Diego. Absolutely crushed it. He's going to be shooting Seals games for us all season long. So definitely stay tuned for the photos on the IG, on Twitter, and everything. But Rochester goes into San Diego. Trevor Baptiste absolutely worked Jeremy Thompson at the stripe. Jeremy Thompson's worst performance in his career at the stripe. But Rochester wins 15-7. Fieldsy popped off in this game, 4 goals, led the team. Ryan Lanchberry, 7 assists, led the team in points with 9. Shout out to the boy Pat Cav, though. Stepped up, looked great, looked like natural in that San Diego offense. Was activated like right before game time because Corey Small got put on injured reserve. And Pat Cav led the team in points with 6. He's just that guy. That's our guy. Looked fantastic. He and Wes Berg have some really good already built-in chemistry, which is awesome. I'm excited to see them kind of just continue to grow together. But Rochester is exactly who we thought they were. They are going to be a championship contending team between Fieldsy, Lanchberry, Ryan Smith, McConvey, Zed Williams. Like, hell, what if they signed KJ? And KJ gets to go back to Rochester. Like, you want to talk about, like, an offense that can do it all. And, you know, Jeremy Thompson's not going to be facing off against Trevor Baptiste every night. If Jeremy Thompson can just give them something at the stripe, too, at this stage of his career. And Rylan Hartley was unbelievable in this game. Rochester's going to be a scary fucking team. And what a performance from them in their opener on the road to go out and take down a San Diego team that, is consistently a playoff team, made the playoffs every year since they've come into the league, and they really neutralize a lot of their offense unless your name was Pat Cavanaugh.
Yeah, I mean, this clear cut was a blowout, old-fashioned. Like, there's no way around it. There are very few things that went well for San Diego, and almost everything went right for Rochester. Rochester was able to pick their spots, score goals, make it look easy, and then they made it hard for San Diego to do that on the opposite side, even though they were getting a plethora of opportunities from Trevor at the stripe. It really was just a classic example of, yeah, sure, you're going to get a lot of opportunities. You got this one guy that we can't really do anything with. We'll let him dominate, but we're going to see if we can shut everybody else down, and they did a very good job of doing that.
Yeah, no notes. I mean, again, Ryan Hartley, we've been saying it for a while. If he's healthy, he's among the top in the league. I mean, you saw it when the dive across the crease save. That should be a goal every single time. It wasn't even just that one. Like, he had a bunch of them that I was like, this dude is locked in. And when you only have 20 on the other side, I mean, 59-20, that's a pretty good ratio. Yep. The fact that he was one away from 60, like, this is the definition of just being locked in as a team. And, like, I mean, Zed didn't even have a point in this game either, which is crazy. I mean, it's crazy. I assumed they'd win this game. I didn't think it was going to be a 15-7 blowout, though. And seeing that, I'm just like, man, they're going to be a dangerous team.
Yeah, I mean,
against everybody.
Had 9 total points, 2 goals, 7 assists. Fieldsy had 6 points. McConvey had 9 points. Graydon Hogg had 2 points. Medeiros had 2 points. Kyle Waters had 2 points. Ryan Smith had 7 points. Pacino scored a goal. Shout out to the boy. Pacino Stan 88. Ian Lord scored. That's how you know. You want to talk about back in the day, the PLL demoralizer was when Dominique Alexander scored. If Ian Lord is scoring on you, that's the demoralizer. That man is he's a man. He's 40. Like, if Ian Lord is scoring on you in the year of our Lord, 2025, good night. Because that's some crazy work.
Yo, and look at his stat line, too. A shot on goal, a loose ball, couple blocks.
2 penalty minutes.
I mean,
hey, all in the stat sheet.
Grit. Ultimate grit player. Fieldsy had 16 shots on goal in this game.
Christ.
Scored on 25% of his shots. McConvey had 7 shots on goal, scored 4 times. Just, like you said, who dialed in as a team. And it's the reason they are the Pod's League Pass Team of the Year and Hoots' individual League Pass Team of the Year, because they are fucking nasty. And guess what? They play the Philadelphia Wings.
I was going to say, I don't think any of us are excited for when they play our team.
Oh, boy. But, yeah, crazy week in the league. Looking at the standings here, Halifax is all alone at the top at 2-0. Rochester and Philly are 1-0. Buffalo, Colorado, San Diego, Ottawa, Georgia, Vancouver, Saskatchewan, and Toronto are all 1-1. Oshawa's 1-2. Vegas is 0-1, and Calgary 0-2. Gang, gang.
Big gang.
The search for Spalina.
Yep.
That's the spin zone. That's the spin zone for you.
It is. I'm totally okay with us tanking and getting Spalina.
That'd be
I wouldn't give a fuck.
He should pull an Eli Manning.
You think he wouldn't want to play in Calgary?
I'm not saying he would or wouldn't. I just think it'd be funny.
Yeah, all right, we'll see. We'll see, big dog.
We'll see. But yeah,
But
that's
that's assuming that Calgary continues to shit the bed too. So,
Hey, if you guys can just lose every game by 1 goal and make them competitive, you can still have fun watching the team. You get some good stuff on film. You still get Spalina.
and
I'm just saying.
Crash out on Twitter.
Exactly.
You know, this doesn't sound
Spalina and Maia together would be a problem.
Might put some butts in seats.
Problem. We got 4 games this week. 1 Friday, 3 on Saturday. Thank the heavens the Saturday games are staggered properly. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock. We don't have double overlap games in such a small slate, which is nice. But Friday night, 7:30 Eastern, it's Vancouver at Oshawa. Then on Saturday at 7, Philly at Rochester. At 8, it's Georgia at Saskatchewan. And then at 10 p.m., it's Ottawa at Vegas. Thoughts on the games, Hoots? What are you feeling? And Deej, I'll let you chime in as well. But what are you feeling about these games? How do we feel about the matchups? And the fact that it's week 4 and we've only had 1 week of play where all 14 teams have played at one time.
Yeah, 3 of these games I'm not really interested in. Just because I feel like the writing's on the wall for who's kind of going to take them. I think Georgia has the best chance to kind of upset of the games, just with Saskatchewan not looking, as tough as they have last year and the year before. I'm really excited to see Ottawa play again, along with Vegas, just because I want to see 2 things. One, was Vegas just going up against Vancouver, and that's a tough matchup. And is Ottawa going to actually be legit? Because in the preseason, a lot of people had them ranked fairly high from what I saw. And I kept asking people, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? And their answer was always, T and Hellier are going to take this team to the promised land, essentially. And they looked pretty good last week. So, especially against a softer defense and goalie situation there.
That's the dynamic of that game, where
that could be
has
sick.
A chance to score, and they have Higgy back there, and Vegas has the offense, and know Ottawa always struggles a little bit with defense. Like, it's going to be which defense shows up in that game.
Yep.
For me, that's actually the one game I'm not as excited to watch. Not that I don't think
who's first of all, fuck you and the click you claim.
Not that I don't think the game will be exciting. I think it will. I think it has a great storyline to it, and I think it has kind of like the biggest implications. Like, I think the team that wins that game is going to get a big boost from it, and is going to feel great, and is going to hopefully get some success moving forward from that.
I hope they get some sex too.
Moving forward from that,
whoever wins that game is the most fertile team in the NLL.
They just get that feel good, get that first win under the belt, and kind of just you're able to get that monkey off your back. Versus the other team kind of is still in that hole and is really only digging it deeper, and you start to really internalize and get into your own head, and it causes other problems down the road. So that game has pretty big implications, but I just think the other games are more exciting. Like, is Oshawa real? We're going to find out, because they're going to play Vancouver, who is looked very good to start the season so far, and are they going to be able to hang, with a team of guys that is remembering how good it feels to be back with the boys. Like, that's kind of Vancouver's whole thing, is they're like vibing about being back together, and you can see that they're having fun about being back with this specific group. So will Oshawa
Vancouver's on a season-long boys trip.
Yeah, literally. And can Oshawa hang with the boys while they're out partying all night? We're gonna find out Friday night. Georgia and Saskatchewan. How I feel about Saskatchewan. If it wasn't for the Battle of the Prairies, they would be much higher on my list. I absolutely love Zach Mans. They have Frank Skiggs in the back, but then they're playing Georgia. LT4. There's not much more I have to say. There's also Brett Dobson. There's also Shane Jackson and other pieces on that team. So that
Michael
game
Grace.
has exciting parts on both sides. And then obviously anytime Philly and Rochester get together, it is
scenes.
Drop the gloves, Knuckles better be ready. But there's also tons of high flying, good goals, and just really a lot of fun action. So it should be a fun week of 4 games. And maybe I'll turn out to be wrong, and the best game of the weekend would be the one that I'm quote-unquote not the most excited to watch. So we'll see kind of how the weekend turns out.
I think it's 4 fun matchups, a lot of like similarities between each team that's playing. I mean, obviously I'm juiced for the Wings game. I want to see how they perform against a team that, no slight to Colorado, but they were missing Andrew Q. I want to see them perform against a team that all three of us agree is championship caliber and see what they do going on the road for the first time with this team as well. And just seeing how they build upon, that win and everything against Rochester, see what Rochester does coming off of their big win. And these two teams always play each other well. In the history of this iteration of the Wings, like they've always played Rochester really well, whether it be a win when they shouldn't get it or like a super close game. So like I'm looking forward to that big time. I want to see if Oshawa's offense figures it the fuck out. I have my doubts outside of Simmer and Ty Kurtz right now until I see it. And I mean, you're playing against arguably the best goalie in the league. So, like, good luck. It does not get easier for an offense that is struggling right now and has failed to score double digits this entire season so far. Georgia-Saskatchewan is going to be scenes. Those two teams always play each other well. It's always high scoring. So I'm excited to see how Dauber handles that offense, too. And then Ottawa-Vegas, I mean, whatever the over is, I don't know what it is, but I would hammer it because there's going to be goals galore in that game. And I think that game is really going to come down to which team plays better in transition. I think whoever gets more transition offense for themselves is going to be able to, put shots on goal and be able to walk away with a win. Hoots, what's your game of the week?
I mean, that Ottawa-Vegas game, for sure.
Deej?
Game of the week for me. I like Georgia-Saskatchewan.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I'm locked in for Phil, but I think Georgia-Saskatchewan's going to be an incredibly fun game with just the offensive firepower in that one. I think we're going to start doing games of the week. I'm just seeing how each one goes. Start doing players of the week, stuff like that. But little schedule breakdown for the week brought to you by our friends over at 47. If you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing a 1 of 1 on my head right now. Hoots has his 1 of 1 on the way. Deeges is here as well. We've got official OTB headwear that only the three of us have because that's how we do, and we love 47, and they are the best in the game when it comes to headwear. We all love the hitch style hat. I've got the black hat with the black rope. It's just the most comfortable headwear in the game. Love 47. Been rocking it since I was in high school, and their comfort and their styles just continue to be the same quality year in and year out, day in and day out. Deej will attest here in the studio, the amount of 47 hats that I have is second to none. And the fact that we have OTB logos on, and Hoots is going to be at Mammoth Games rocking an OTB 47 hat, and we're going to be able to go out on the road and rep the pod on our heads now because of 47 is truly like a surreal moment. You guys can get your 47 hats for your favorite sports teams. You can get blank hats so you can customize them. Not with this logo because we'll sue your ass. But use our link in the description. Shop with 47 this holiday season and join the 47 family so you get free shipping on all orders when you shop with 47. And we thank 47 for being an official partner of the Outside the Box podcast and Underground Sports Philadelphia. I think with that being said, we head on over to the pick pond, feed some ducks, and dish out our picks of the week that were absolutely brutal last week. Little update here. Hoots, I think you and I finished with the same record.
Yep.
We went 0-1. What did we go, 3-4?
Actually, I think you got one more than I did, but we have the same overall record now.
Okay. Yeah, because I won the Philly game, the Vancouver game, and the Rochester game. So I went 3-4.
Yeah.
You won
just the two.
The two. And Deej, tough week. Tough week for the boys. But it is
It's been a tough year. A tough season. tough NLL season for the boy.
Who do we find out is real first? Deej's picks or the Oshawa Firewolves offense?
Yikes.
Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. It is the NLL Week 4 Picks of the Week, brought to you by our pals over at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Delaware, Pittsburgh, and Maryland areas. You can also find Kenwood Beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly. We start Friday night lacrosse in Oshawa. It's the Vancouver Warriors, the Oshawa Firewolves. Deej, I'll start with you. Where do you see things playing out in Oshawa Friday night lacrosse between the Vancouver Roughnecks and the Philadelphia Wings, New England Black Wolves, Albany Firewolves, Oshawa Firewolves?
I think Oshawa will come out. I think they're going to make a game. I think they're going to have some excitement behind them. I think that, being back home is going to be a breath of fresh air for them. But I do think that my Vancouver Roughnecks will come and pop that bubble. I'm not picking against my teams. Give me my league pass Roughnecks to grab a win on Friday night.
Hoots, who you got?
The team that scores more than 5 goals a game. Yeah.
Valid. Which, congratulations to the Oshawa Firewolves. Your offense is going to figure it out because we're all going with the Vancouver Warriors this week.
Really, we're just giving them an OTB bump.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I mean, we'll sacrifice our records for the
That's how it
betterment
goes.
of the team.
I ain't sacrificing shit. My record sucks.
This is an everyday occurrence for me.
Bro, I don't even know what my shit is, but it ain't good.
Do you want to know?
No.
I got it right here.
Yeah,
You can throw it out if you want to.
You're 3-10.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Ain't no sacrifice around here.
Honestly, you should just bet against yourself every week, and you'd be a rich man.
Hey, but what we do know,
Hashtag fade Deej.
what we do know is that if I happen to have one 7-0 week when everybody plays, I'm all of a sudden right back in it. So I'm not counting myself out the game yet. But if y'all listen to this, I wouldn't be going with anything.
Hashtag fade Deej in the comment section. Next up, Saturday, first game, Philadelphia at Rochester. I'm excited for this game, but after seeing what Rochester did versus what the Wings did, it's going to be very intriguing. Defense Wings versus Rochester offense, but Rochester's at home, and they've got the reigning MVP, and they put up a 15-piece against a very good goalie. So I'm going Rochester.
Yeah, I fucked up and didn't pick them last week, so I ain't going to do that 2 weeks in a row. Fly, Nighthawks fly, baby.
Congratulations to the Philadelphia Wings on winning their
Tudo.
second straight game. I'm also going to go with Rochester.
Who's this isn't good for us because we're agreeing on Deej picks.
Look, man, it was a tough PLL pick'em season. It's going to be a tough NLL pick'em season. It is what it is.
I ran it in PLL.
I did not.
I did well. The last 2 seasons, I have been fantastic. Now
You're like the Chiefs right now. You ran it up, and now you just fall apart.
Yep. I'm coming crashing back to earth.
8 o'clock on Saturday, Georgia at Saskatchewan. This is probably the toughest game to pick, just based off of what we've seen from these two teams so far, in my opinion. There's one factor that I'm putting into this game, and it's one team has a guy named Brett Dobson, and the other team doesn't, and I don't know why it's speaking to me because this team never speaks to me, but I'm going with Georgia.
You got a thermostat or a thermometer over there?
Why?
I need to check your temperature. Saskatchewan.
All right, I feel better about my pick now.
You an asshole. This one for me is Saskatchewan being at home. This team has already been playing well to start the year. Georgia's very good, but I have never been one to trust Georgia on the road. So I'm going to stick with that trend of myself and still trust us to be my game of the week. Still think that this is going to be a very good game. Don't think Georgia's going to get blown out or anything, but I don't trust them to win what I presume will be a tight game on the road in a place that is going to be full of energy.
Yeah, I definitely had you guys flipped on the graphic. I thought for sure Deej was going Georgia. But I'm going to follow suit and take Saskatchewan as well. I just think we haven't seen the best from them, and they're kind of due, which probably isn't the best logic for pick'ems, but I'm going with it.
My takeaway, too, is like what we saw from Saskatchewan last week. It's like they couldn't score late. And, I mean, if you need to score late and you're going up against Brett Dobson, like, that's a recipe for disaster in most cases. But I'm excited for this game. I think this game is going to be absolute scenes. And then 10 o'clock, the nightcap, shot of 47, Ottawa at Vegas. Who you got going in this one, Deej?
Give me Ottawa. Vegas hasn't shown me anything to believe that I can trust them to win a lacrosse game yet.
Yeah, give me Teton Hellier as well. Especially with Frazier. I would assume he's back this week, but because we don't know, that does scare me a little bit. And I mean, like I said, Teton Hellier have been good. And if they can get some contributions from the rest of the squad, it should be a good one.
I like Ottawa in this game for Teton Hellier, and they just flat out have a top 5 goalie in the league. Zach Higgins is unbelievable, and he's going to be able to stop some of the shots that he will face in this game, no matter what the offense looks like. We've seen him do it against the best of the best. We have not seen Landon Kells do that. And when you got to face Jeff Teat and Rob Hellier and Connor Kiernan and the rest of those boys, I don't know. I just, until that Las Vegas defense and Landon Kells or whomever is in goal for them can prove to me that they can stop opponents from scoring, it's going to be tough for me to pick them until I see it on a consistent basis. So give me Ottawa in this one. So there's our picks. Deej, you're going Vancouver, Rochester, Saskatchewan, Ottawa. Hoots, you're going Vancouver, Rochester, Saskatchewan, Ottawa. I'm going Vancouver, Rochester, Georgia, Ottawa. And those are your Week 4 NLL Picks of the Week, brought to you by Kenwood Beer. Loaded NLL segment. We got a loaded PLL segment here on the show, too, because PLL Free Agency is underway. And the best way to keep up to date with everything going on during PLL Free Agency is in the PLL app. Guys, download the PLL app in the App Store, Google Play Store. That way you can keep up to date with everything your favorite teams are doing in the PLL this free agency period. You can keep up to date with player movement. It's a gamified app, so you earn experience points just for accomplishing tasks in the app each and every day, which go towards leveling up and unlocking bonuses for discounts in the PLL shop. You get access to ESPN Plus, so much more. So download the PLL app and then go to the redeem code section and type in OTBPOD. That's OTB Pod. You get 500 XP on your account by using our code, and the PLL then gets notified that you used our code. So use that bad boy, OTB Pod, in the redeem code section. Get 500 XP on your account and stay up to date with everything going on in PLL and WLL free agency in the PLL app. Crazy first couple of days of PLL free agency here. And the biggest move involves the Philadelphia Water Dogs. After Dave Cottle re-signed Matt Witcher through 2027, he took his big swing for the fence and lured away the defending Defensive Player of the Year and 2025 PLL champion and former number 1 overall pick Gavin Adler away from the Atlas to add to this Philadelphia Water Dogs defense. A move that signified to me PLL Free Agency is legit. You know, over the past couple of years, we've seen guys, you know, a couple of players move here and there. But a player of this stature, of this caliber, who's coming off of a championship with his team that drafted him, saying, deuces, I'm going to go to a conference rival for the next 3 years at least and join forces there, is pretty awesome for, like, the state of the growth of the PLL and the growth of professional lacrosse, where, like, guys are like, yeah, I'm going to go where the money's at. I'm going to go where I think I can go win more championships, and I can go and be a focal point of a defense elsewhere and continue to play my game. This move is awesome. I love it, and I think this is one of the biggest moves we've seen in PLL free agency history.
I like this move in terms of longevity. He's a younger guy, bringing in energy, great defender. Obviously, just won decoy. It's the second year in a row the decoy's upped and left the team. I think he fits the play style of the Water Dogs. You know, he's able to push the transition like they like from their poles, but he also is a great cover guy and can help in the off-ball moments as well. My only thing with this is, how does he fit into the locker? You know, that's always the one question with any guy coming into any team is, will he be able to assimilate and get along with these guys? Not, I shouldn't say get along, you know, but like, does he fit the personalities and such of this team? Like, I feel like that matters a ton, especially in the PLL when you're cramming your time together. So you like don't even like, once you get in for the weekend, you're with these guys the entire weekend. So if you don't like them, it's pretty annoying to spend 3-4 days with a guy that you don't like. So that's kind of the one thing I'm concerned about with him. But optically, it's a fantastic move for the Water Dogs.
Which I think Michael Bolger, the Water Dogs beat writer, put in his article, because this was an arms race for Gavin Adler between 4 teams, even 5 early on. The Outlaws were in the mix early on, and then they dropped out, and then it was the Redwoods, the Atlas, and the Water Dogs. And I think Bolger put in his article the determining factor for Gavin Adler going to Philly was he was going to be able to play with CJ Kirst again. And they have a very close relationship from Cornell. And I think this is a power move from Dave Cottle, obviously brand new GM in the league. Obviously had success in the MLL, but you eliminated such a focal point of an opponent shutting down your offense. Gavin Adler has been the Michael Sowers eraser in New York versus Philly since Adler's come into the league. It was Sowers' toughest matchup in his career so far, statistically, and now you eliminate that by putting him on your defense, and that's going to make Michael Sowers better. Like, obviously, guys on that Atlas defense are going to pick up the slack. They're probably going to add somebody either in free agency or the draft. But to eliminate a guy who has been an eraser of your best player in free agency and add him to your team, that's what good GMs do. You make your team better and make another team worse in a multitude of ways. You know, TLN put the graphic out about what the defense is going to look like for the Water Dogs. Like, you're adding Adler to Kenny Brower, who had a phenomenal rookie season, and I say rookie because it was his first year playing, and Ben Randall, who has been an all-star in this league, and I think it's only going to make Ben Randall better now that arguably Ben Randall's going to be your third option defensively. And then you have guys like Jimmy Freehill and Ben Weyer. We'll see if Eli Gobrecht comes back. He's a Swiss Army knife, picks up a short stick and do it all for you. But you also re-signed Witcher. You have Dylan Hess. This defense looks nasty on paper, and it's not often you get to add a reigning defensive player of the year to your team. Like you said, Teach, like, this is only the second time it's happened. Twice in the last 3 years it's happened. Obviously, Epple leaving the Redwoods to go to the Cannons. But to get a player of Gavin Adler's caliber and see the way that New York Atlas fans are, like, crushed that he is leaving, is awesome. And I think this just makes the New York-Philly rivalry that much more fun when these two teams match up against each other twice a year. Especially because I was looking for Gavin Adler photos to talk about on the main pod, and there was a video from Inside Lacrosse saying that after the championship, it's like, we're not done yet. And it's like they think that they're going to continue winning championships with the Atlas, and he's like, I don't know about that, Jim. And he's like, I'm out. I'm gonna go to Philly. And he's wearing number 97. Not sure how I feel about that. I want to see it on him, but 99 was right there.
97 is not going to work.
99 was right there.
Who do you think he is? Connor McDavid? He's not. He's not. It's going to look awful.
But yeah, Gavin Adler, 3-year deal with the Dogs, signed through 2028. Biggest move so far in the free agency window. Some other moves that have gone down. A lot of guys re-signing with teams, but I think the biggest trend, Deej and I recognized this when we were talking about it a little bit earlier too, Hoots, like a lot of 3-year deals so far in this free agency window, which is not what we have traditionally seen. I think the largest we've really seen is 3, but it's been very select guys. A lot of 3-year deals being dished out right now. Jared Newman signed a 3-year deal with the Chaos. Jack Posey going from Chaos to the Whipsnakes on a 3-year deal, so they get a young defenseman there. Obviously, we talked about Troy Ray. He signed that extension through 2028 as well. Chris Eslanian and Cole Williams are back with Chaos on 1-year deals. The defending champions, who we just talked about, Gavin Adler, leaving. They re-signed Xander Dixon through 2027. And from all accounts, I've heard his rehab is going pretty well from his injury he sustained in the championship game, so shout out to Xander. Colby Bars is leaving the Archers and going to the Cannons, signed a 1-year deal through 2026. I like that move for Colby. I think he's going to get playing time on that defense with the Cannons that shifted a lot around last year and was not really a cohesive unit, so I like adding a young piece to that Cannons defense. That's going to be a lot of fun. Graydon Hogg and Connor Kirst are back with the Cannons, as well as is Owen Grant. Owen Grant signed through 2027, and they signed Brian Kelly through 2026 as well. Greg Wiles back with your Outlaws Hoots through 2026.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
I think that came. That's just he was a 30% threshold guy too, so he could have gone anywhere, but he's staying with the Outlaws. That's the only move they've made so far.
For Dalton Young.
Dalton Young isn't official, but it is official, if that makes sense to the people. Like, it's reported, but it's not official pen to paper on the website just yet. Brendan Nickturn going from the Redwoods to the Chaos. We kind of had an inkling that was going to happen a few months ago. For a multitude of reasons. Obviously, he's coaching at South Carolina now, and he's got one of his best friends on that Chaos team, too, who happens to be a friend of the program. So, I like that move for
a boot camp.
I like that move for Chaos. That's a fun move there. Allegedly, too, I think Dan Arestia tweeted about it. They are in talks to sign both Liam Burns and Christian Scarpello. The Chaos are, so making a lot of moves are the Carolina Chaos, and then the cryptic Instagram story from Miles Jones in his Chaos jersey from year 1 of the PLL, so we'll see if Miles heads to Carolina as well. The California Redwoods bringing a Michigan man to the woods, Deej, Mikey Bain.
Yes, sir.
Through 2026. I like that move for Mikey. It's going to give him an opportunity to play.
Big M's in the chat. I think he will get some play time. I don't know how much. I don't know if he'll be able to stand. Like, he's going to have to produce in order to keep his spot. It's going to be a tough game day roster to crack consistently.
And then outside of Posey, nothing for the Whipsnakes in terms of their own free agents. I would assume Jake Bernhardt, as long as he wants to keep playing, will be back. In the way that Staggs has kind of spoken in Miles Jordan's articles, it sounds like he'll be back. I don't know, outside of Krebs, if they re-sign any of their free agents, though.
I haven't seen anything.
It's Jake Bernhardt, who I would assume would only be back with the Webs. Tucker Dordevic is obviously medically retired.
Yep.
Colin Heacock, maybe. Jack Corus, Krebs, Kyle Aldridge, and Pilato.
They should re-sign him. I like that guy.
They probably will, since they released P. LaSala for him. But like, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna. They're such an interesting case this free agency period. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Because nobody knows what direction they're moving in.
Right. It's such a weird like limbo space. Also Chris Fake re-signed with the Redwoods as well. That's official.
Fake news.
I don't think anybody else officially signed that I can remember. Oh, Austin Kaut is back with Chaos as well. But other than that, I don't think anybody else is officially re-signed that we know of. But obviously Adler's the big domino that went, and arguably the biggest free agent that was on the market, and him signing like day one is pretty sweet because that kind of just lets things really open the floodgates there. I mean, I don't know who the next domino is going to be, but I do think there's a lot of interesting free agents out there now, especially because of all the talks that have been out there. Costabile re-signed with the Atlas, apparently, too. A lot of teams got a lot of money now that Gavin Adler's off the board, though.
Yep. There's going
A
to be
lot
some
of
moves
money.
made.
I mean, Garrett Epple's a free agent right now. I think Chaos getting Jared Newman back is huge, and adding, pieces to their defense. If the Liam Burns news is correct, like that's going to be a really fun defense. And I mean, we'll see what the Outlaws do with their old head brigade. Do you think any of them will be back, Hoots?
I don't think Mike Manley will be back. I think Bernhardt will. I don't know. It's tough. Like, I think Manley could play if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But like the way he left that last interview, there was one quote where he said like, "They have all the talent" or something like that, and I was like, that sounds like someone who's not gonna be here.
He said similar shit the year before.
I'm sure he did, and I mean, maybe he comes back if they're like, "Hey, we were in the championship game, let's one more time." But then the question then is like, how many one more times are there going to be? So that's why I think he'll be gone. But I do think Bernhardt's going to come back to play with his brother one more time. But regardless, there's going to be a lot of questions on that side of the ball for sure.
Deej, I'm going to give you in essence alone of just the exercise. Fuck, marry, kill for 3 Redwoods free agents. Charlie Bertrand, Ryder Garnsey, Dylan Malloy. The comparisons, Kill is obviously not re-signed. The F in the equation would be a 1-year deal, and Mary would be a long-term.
That's a tough one.
Oh, man. This is going to sound crazy as hell. I think you marry Dylan. Fuck Charlie and you kill Ryder. It was very hard to choose between Ryder and Charlie, because Charlie plays midfield, and it seems like you can reload on midfield a little bit easier. But the production of Ryder has been quite low recently. And you can put Chris or Dylan on the wing, still trade up and draft Spallina, put him at X. Just say
He's Spallina pilled over here.
There's some options that could float around from not having Ryder there anymore. Would I want to see it realistically? No. But I feel like if you put Charlie on a 1-year prove yourself deal, you get a better output than you do if you do that to Ryder.
I got another one. Redwoods free agents.
Okay.
FMK, Ryder Garnsey, Brian Tevlin, Rylan Reese.
I mean, you marry Tag. That's
Correct.
That's easy.
That's a
no
no-brainer.
question on that.
I feel like we should play some elevator music.
I think you fuck Rylan, you kill Ryder.
Wow. He's out on friend of the program, Ryder Garnsey, like that.
I like Ryder a lot, but like I'm really just like basing it off of like who's in the player pool, how easy it is to get a guy at a certain position, who's possibly coming in the next draft class. Attack is loaded every year. There's tons of attackmen, tons of kids who are in the draft or get drafted at attack and then end up playing midfield. Like, but there's only so many LSMs. There's only so many D guys. Like, when it comes down to it, Rylan played really well when he joined the Redwoods last year. Slot him back in for another year. Maybe you find a guy to replace him with. Maybe you don't. Maybe he proves himself with this 1-year deal and you sign him again. But almost feel like Ryder's entering that RP3 category in terms of like he kind of has one style of play. So like your offense can really only run a certain way with him in it.
Hey, I'm not going to front Ryder on Chaos. Would be kind of sick. And with Hiltzy,
they fit his vibe.
That'd be fun.
They fit his vibe.
Now, you want to talk about locker room dynamic, how him and Jared fit together.
I think it might be different if they're on the same team.
I agree.
Practice might be kind of feisty
Crazy.
sometimes. But other than that, I think they'd be fine.
There's a lot of spicy free agents still out there, which is going to be a lot of fun to see how it kind of all shakes out. And I think one of the under-the-radar ones is, I would assume the Cannons re-signed him, but what happens with Bubba Fairman after not playing all of last year because he was injured? That's at a premium position, a player you know is Hard Hat of the Year award caliber. I feel like a lot of teams should be knocking on Bubba Fairman's door for his services.
Absolutely. He should be a hot commodity if they don't re-sign.
He's going to be a hot commodity. I think McConvey's going to be a hot commodity.
We'll take McConvey.
I think Rylan Reese will be a hot commodity. I think Garnsey will be, just based on name alone. And, if he's a change of scenery guy, we'll see. I mean, and especially if the Redwoods do what they should and re-sign Tev, Bubba Fairman's the best short stick D-midi out there now that Witcher's off the board too. Is there anybody else that I'm forgetting that's a short stick free agent? No. So yeah, I mean, Bubba Fairman, like, there should be multiple teams knocking on his door. Is Warren Jeffrey back with the Archers?
Hope not. He knows where he belongs. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey, I'll see him in a week and a half.
That defense for the Archers is going to be fascinating how this all shakes out. John Robbins is a 30% guy at LSM. Hossack's a free agent. Warren Jeffrey's a free agent. Colby Bars is gone. Mitchell Dunham's a 30% guy. Cam Wires is a free agent. They could have a whole new defense outside of the Spider, as they call him, in front of Dauber.
You know who else could have a whole new defense?
Denver Outlaws. Minus JT Giles Higgers. I mean, that's got to be both teams' focal point in the draft. Hands down, it's a big defensive draft class, too.
Oh, yeah, it is. Stuffed with you guys.
Pause.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. OTB after dark getting crazy.
Man, you know it was bound to happen at least once.
Brett Makar's also a free agent. And Michael Reck. The whole Atlas defense.
Wait, I thought Makar resigned.
Did he?
Unofficially.
Oh, yeah.
Like day one.
It's just not updated on the website then. Rex
Yeah.
Rhodes a free agent. That defense could look different as well.
Bring him on down, too.
Ryan Drenner's a free agent. That's a fascinating one.
He can put on a Redwoods jersey.
He could put on any jersey, and I think every team would be happy.
Yeah,
Donville's a free agent. It's going to be a fun PLL free agency period. I'm pumped. And, I mean, the fact that the biggest domino has already fallen just makes it that much more intriguing to see where things go. And then the WLL waiver period has happened. A few moves went down. I was talking to Rosie about this earlier today. See if he thought any surprises came across, with the moves and everything. There was a couple that stood out to me, and I think there's going to be more moves once we see more potential retirements and stuff like that. But the Maryland Charm claimed Allie Kennedy from Stony Brook, Ashley Humphrey from North Carolina, Mackenzie Blake from Princeton, Kelly Deans from Notre Dame, Sam Swart from Syracuse, and Olivia Dirks from North Carolina. And they released Katia Carnival, Jillian Wilson, and Megan Whittle. Dog, these California teams just be tantalizing Deej. They just be singing his songs because Jill Smith from Michigan going to the Palms, Anna Brandt from Penn, Ellie Massera from Stony Brook, Gabby Rosenzweig from Duke, and Caroline Steele from Maryland. Maggie Bill retired. Maggie Hall was released, and Isabella Peterson was released for the Palms. The Boston Guard added Maddie Burns from Michigan, Fallon Vaughn from Yale, and Brittany Reed from Oregon. And they released Marge Donovan and Katie Glynn. And then the New York Charging claimed Sam Smith from Northwestern, Katie Goodale from Syracuse, Chase Boyle from Loyola, Grace Fujinaga from Northwestern, and Jillian Wilson from Loyola. And the New York Charging, I think, with the biggest names released, Megan Tyrell from Syracuse and Belle Smith from Boston College.
Well, look at who they brought in. Them some big names, too. I don't know how they get that kind of talent.
And I mean,
it's almost not fair.
Megan and Belle, no offense to them, they didn't really perform all that well at Champ Series last year. So, I think that's just, the thinking going into this year's Championship Series. Because this is the Championship Series waiver wire, too. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, like, both of them will be picked up if they choose to play the full season slate. But I'm excited for fucking WLL, man. It's going to be so much fun, especially with the full 10v10 season, and we all know how exciting Champ Series has been with the women's game. I just love that, like, we're going to get a full look at everything for a complete season. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, this is gonna take the game to the next level. We knew it was coming eventually. Everything got kind of jump started with, Athletes Unlimited kind of dropping out of the game and everything like that. But this free agency pool, I think, will kind of show us how exciting their game could be when we start to see the moves that they start to make, how they put these rosters together, what their team could look like on the field, and then obviously the exciting part, them actually getting out there and playing the game.
And we're going to get a draft this year. It's gonna be exciting. I'm pumped. It is kind of sad, though, that 2 of the 4 faces on the WLL Twitter banner are either retired or more than likely not playing, because obviously Alex Ostholman just had baby. I highly doubt she's going to be playing this year.
Right.
Lizzie obviously retired, but that is crazy that in the blink of an eye, boom, face is gone. It's like early days PLL.
Yeah. When everybody was switching teams, and all of a sudden, it's like, might want to change some things.
But yeah, I'm excited for these free agent and waiver periods and everything for Champ Series. It's going to be absolutely insane. Can't wait to keep up with all of it. Any final thoughts before we head up on out of here, boys?
Go next.
Even though they don't play.
That's not the point.
You can't lose to the bye week.
Vancouver Roughnecks play. And yeah, you can. Somebody can get hurt.
Man, if you get hurt during the bye week, I got a lot of questions.
Hey.
Oh, but you were giving me crap when I had questions pre-pod.
Still had questions. I said, how the fuck that happened?
I don't put nothing but past nobody. Man, I can't talk.
He's still running on 4-wheeler speed.
Yep.
hey, that's what I forgot to tell you. The motor was right, like, obviously, like, by where you put your feet. I'm in Mexico. Shorts. Leg hair singed. Singed, dog. Oh, my God. Felt like I had straight hot coals on my legs. Singed.
This guy. That's hysterical. Also, I know he's listening because he listens to the pod. JB, the jersey came. We'll need that. Need to get that bad boy signed, sealed, delivered. I can't wait. I'm bringing that down to Champ Series for him to sign that. Bring out the JB34, so John, with the picture of him walking in the OTB shirt, with a picture of him from the game that the boy Zach shot. Hoots, when's the Mammoth home opener?
Next Saturday, the 27th.
Damn. The early season NLL schedule makes no sense.
Well, and it sucks, too, because, like they don't play well coming off buys. We had 2 of them in the first month, so it's just like... And it's like this every year for them, too. I don't know why, but...
It's crazy. But, hey, you'll have your OTB hat for the opener.
Yes, I will.
Gang.
This is why we play.
This is exactly why we play.
But yeah, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at OTB LaxPod across the board. Follow Hoots at Hoots Sports Media. Follow Deej at SCS_next great. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. Really helps the show continue to grow. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia and Outside the Box podcast YouTube channels, youtube.com/@OTBLaxPod. So we get the college show going. We're 22 subscribers away from that being a thing. So go subscribe, youtube.com/@OTBLaxPod. And you get this show each and every week in video form at youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. We're 26 subscribers away from our next 100 subscriber milestone and 54 subscribers away from doubling our entire subscriber count from 2024 here in 2025. So if you want to make that happen, be a friend, tell a friend to subscribe. And this has been episode number 406 of the award-nominated, honorably mentioned, number 9 NCAA ranked, number 11 Philadelphia ranked, and of course viewable on YouTube, Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. For Hoots, for Deej, I'm KB. Also, shout out, we found the second member of the Sicko Six. There's 4 more of you out there who your number one podcast was OTB on Spotify in 2025. We want to know who the Sicko Six are. Please, let us know. But this has been episode 406. Enjoy the weekend of lacrosse. We will see you back here next week, hopefully with more NLL fun shenanigans that have gone down, more PLL free agency, and who the hell else knows what is going to happen. But we'll talk to you then. But until next time, we're getting the heck up out of here, y'all. Peace.
Peace.